And 7-so, 2 left in the wall. Looks like the 7-so in Q's hand is pretty much locked up.
Boom.
If Sylvie draws one, it's probably going to be kept.
Flag there, but there was a cut of the 4-mon, a pawn of 1, and then card of the 2-mon on the left is now Ishanten for Honitsu, Chu, Dora 2 or 3.
Sumo.
Oh,
There's
there
the
we go.
sumo, though. That's going to be your Mungan, Sanshuku, Junchan, Dora, and now right under 30,000 as you move to all last.
Yeah, this is looking to be another game not in Sylvie's favor. 3 people vying for the 30k status. I don't think we're going to get 3 people over 30k. It's probably going to end up on 2 and 2. Oliver looking for any hand to achieve that, and Oliver's current starting hand is quite nice, though the dealer's is pretty comparable in speed as well, looking at a Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 1. There are some shifts to 5-6-7 or 4-5-6 Sanshoku, though they're really kind of hard to get. And now that you drew the second Ryan Man, you're probably going to toss one of those shapes. Across the way, I mean, you have the Dora acceptance, but as Dustin, you're just looking to have the game end here with you positive. And then over on the left, Sylvie could go for, I don't know, Chinitsu, Itsu, Dora, Bajillion, or something like that.
Mungan Sumo is good enough for 3rd place, so I think that's just all you play for. Ricci, Sumo, and then maybe an Ipeiko or an Itsu. I just throw this 3 back, or even the 7-mon. I think I throw this back. Dealers as the other one that is really close here, Ishanten. Of course, if you draw the 3-so, then you have a very interesting option of whether you're going to go for the Sanshuku or the Dora weight. Ooh, I cut 2-pin. Yeah, I really like this play.
Now, what if we draw 6-pin? Do we toss the Dora going for the guaranteed Sanshoku chance? On either side?
I don't think I want to cut the Dora basically ever. Oh, I don't like this at all, though.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing that 4 back.
Yeah, it weakens the hand, even though you get to keep the Dora no matter what.
Well, the problem is you can't shift the Tanyao, because if you draw the 6, you're Tempai anyway.
Yep, you'd have to Dama in that case. And at that point, with your Southport dealership, you're just going to call Ricci, so may as well keep the chance for Sanshoku.
Now, if you pair the Dora up, then sure, then you cut the 1-pin, 1-pin. We have a Dama on the right that is Pinfu Dora waiting on 3-6-0.
Just looking to keep over the 30k mark.
Yeah, and there is that Dora I talked about. It is now paired up for the dealer. You now have Ishanten for Ricci, Pinfu, Sanshoku, Dora 2. And even here, it's easy Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 2. Both players are waiting on 3-6-0. But that 6 may not get pushed. Yeah, we see a fold there from Oliver.
Yeah,
the 3-6 is actually really bad. Yeah.
Oh,
Meanwhile, we see, okay, I had enough of that. We'll wait on the Dora, completely dead here. But I don't mind the play. Sylvie definitely needs the points. If there's one in the wall, this is a good Ricci.
Right, getting down to the last round of discards here. No Sumo.
1-3, and that's going to be in the dead wall as we get 3rd and 4th 1,500 points, and we're not done.
That actually has some... Well, I guess not. When you have the 2 Ricci sticks there, this doesn't change very much for Ash, who still, with any win, rises above 30k. But the dealer has a really nice starting hand here. Already Ishanten looking for the Pen Sanso draw to get into Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 1 Tempai. We have over on the right I don't know, kind of a really disconnected hand at the moment. Maybe looking for a Ricci, maybe a Pinfu, but lots of bad shapes. Across the way, another kind of semi-frustrating hand, though you can get a pretty quick win out of this with some nice Ryanman draws around those floating middle tiles. And then over on the left, we have the fast Haku pawn, and now a pawn of the 2-mon, maybe hedging for a Honitsu or a Toy Haku.
Yeah, I definitely like this. You're not sure which way it's going to go, but you're looking for more value here. You just need the Mongun Sumo. Of course, just need the Mongun Sumo. It's going to be hard to do with these, but if you turn it into Honitsu or pair up one of these Yakuhai, then then you'll be good enough. And it's always, what's your fourth Han?
We did see Q pass up the Tenpai here, had the Pen, Sanso, Tenpai, and cut the 2-so out of it. I normally would cut the 1-so there in case I draw the 4-so for Tanyao, but this seems fine, and now you should keep that 6-pin.
That's just a mistake. The 6 should be kept here. You give up the Peiko options. You give up tons of Ukeire. There's no reason to throw that 6.
Oh, here comes...
Yeah, there you go. And punished immediately for it.
I mean, not as bad because that only happened because the 8-pin was pawned and you would have needed the 8-pin, but still doesn't feel good. And there's that
3-so Sumo. Oh, it's been that kind of season for Q. And a bit of a backfire there for Sylvie. Could get Toy, but again, probably couldn't even take this Toy. And I have dealer Tenpai. We'll just Dama for now. Figure the 3 is completely dead, so not reason to take this.
Wonder if there's any argument for even a 1-so Tanki, as terrible as that it is, but just taking the Ricci here is fine.
Yeah, Ricci, Pinfu, Tanyao, Dora 2.
Chankan potential.
That'd be fun to see. And Sylvie just going to push, figuring there's nothing left to lose here.
Oh,
there's the last 2. No fun. And there's a 5. It's actually pretty bad.
It's dead now. So empty draws. The question is whether Sylvian will be able to get into Tenpai, and does.
It would be Flurry 10.
I think you still got to do it anyway. And drop the once-drop tune. You don't want third place to go any further from you.
Oh, well, I think you just push the Dora here and will. Oh, no. Don't tell this is how it's going to end for Q. 3. You will have the Haite on the left or potentially Hote for Sil. Oh, there it is! Haite, Toy, Chun, Haku, Hanemon. No, it's just the Mongon. 5 Han there. But that's going to be enough to steal third place. Dustin with a huge win here. Takes control early, loses some points down the line, but you're perfectly fine with that 51.7. Oliver, considering where that started, perfectly happy with the -4. Sylvia with the -15.9. And Q just continues to spiral downward with -31.8.
Well, we're going to leave these guys to their devices and check out the other group of A2 players now.
Yeah, we've been wanting to see them for a while, but we didn't expect those 2 games to go that long. That was a 58-minute game, and the first one was a 57-minute game.
Looks like we're picking up this game in East 4. Dealer is Haru.
I think that's Haru. On the right, I believe, is Garrick. Across is Rachel. And on the left is Tristan.
All right. Well, we see the dealer Ricci here. 1-mon, 7-so. Wait, one of the 1-mon is out. 2 of the 7-so are gone, so it's only 1 left in the wall.
Meanwhile, Rachel's sitting here with a nice little Honitsu East possible Haku. Both Haku are left in the wall, so that is a Mongon if that comes.
kind of interested in how the dealer's hand developed here with the 7-so pair but the 5-so in the discards, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna pick up the Sumo across the way for a Mongon. Much needed for Rachel, who took a bit of a hit in that previous game.
Yeah, Rachel's sitting at minus 134.0. And oh no, they finished 3 games already? Really?
Oh, so I guess I was unintentionally right there. Wow, that's rough.
Yeah, that's really rough.
Boom.
Had two eternal games going, but no, that's going to be the last one here. The standings weren't updating for us correctly. But yeah, this is the last game of the series already. The dealer here has a potential East Sanshoku. I think you're looking for the 2-3-4 on the right. I mean, the shapes aren't great. Maybe if you draw 7, so there's something there, but it feels a long way away from everything. Across the way, Chun pair. You see the West Call looking for the Mongon there with 2 Dora. And on the left, that is
Boom.
Ishunten already, I believe. No, Rian Shunten needs to fill the 6 to the 7, or you can just call this.
Boom.
Now we have Tempa or Ishunten, and that 3 feels like it might come out.
Yeah, it would
We
be
have a
a
Ricci on the right. There's the 3.
Yeah,
Not where we
double
expect the
10
three to come
Sanshoku.
from, but it'll be, yes,
Oh,
East
just single
Sanshoku.
time, yes.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
moved to
in
South
South.
one. No, this in chat table finished 2.5. Yeah, during that last game, overall 3.5 games. That was a very long table for just 2 games.
Boom.
In South one, dealer here has 3 Dora, great shapes, and just keeps improving even better. I definitely would have cut the honors there though instead. On the right, we see the Chun Pon and already Ishan 10 there. Not much value, but we'll be able to move the game around. Across the way, we see, I don't know, maybe a shift towards Itsu, potential Junchan, but everything's kind of far away. Maybe an Itsu's the best path to value. And on the left, we see the South Pon and an Onko of the North Dragons, North Wind. So could accept that. Now you have the potential to accept a Dora. So I think you just cut 5-7.
G.
And there's a Chi for the dealer. Definitely going for the Tanyao now.
G.
Tempai on the left.
Another Chi. But now you have that floating 6-mon for
Come.
Garrick here. If something connects to that 5, it's definitely going to come out.
Oh, there it goes.
Boom.
And there it
That con
goes.
gave an extra Dora. So we're looking at a Mongon. Oh, no, not a Mongon. That's not the
You
first
get,
con.
yeah, and the extra food from the con. So it is 6,400. Quite a bit of damage there. And Rachel's now only about 8,000 below first place. And doesn't have a great starting hand here, though. You'd love to be able to shift this to Junchan if you draw 1 mon. But other than that, I'm not seeing too much here. On the right, definitely a Pinfu type hand. Pretty close. Across the way, you could add Ipeco, but I think your best path is just draw the 3-pin Dora and go Pinfu on the left. Similarly, draw that 3-pin, and then it's going to be a pretty nice Pinfu hand, especially that 4, 5, 6, 7 mon. And we'll go ahead and call already for Tanya. Just wants this hand over with, which sitting in first place with second place's last dealer turn makes sense.
Dealer draws into the potential 7-8-9 Sanshoku, maybe even a Junchan with some miraculous draws. So it's going to be hard with 2 of the 8 pins gone already, and now that 9-so just watches it pass by. But this 3-so helps quite a lot here. Decides to sell out on the 7-8-9.
No, not selling out on 7-8-9 at this point. Definitely with that draw, that's going to be the right direction the hand is headed. We'll need the 6 and 9-so to be able to do it, though.
You can now see 3 of those out, so still going to be challenging. Decides to keep the extra 5-so and drop the 2 4-mon for now. Slimming down to 5 blocks.
Situation. We'll have to go headless now. Tempai on the Tonki 4-pin.
Not a great area to be waiting in just because the Dora being the 3-pin, but...
And the 3-so already looks better to me.
even with one out, it's not that terrible.
Well, it just looks so cheap on this table to me. Like, it's kind of bad for dealer, but that's about it. Ooh, and now we see Rachel shifting possibly towards Chinitsu.
Yeah.
But the 2-1s already passed, so it could be very hard to finish.
Yeah, you'd have to draw something else in Sozu first to make it realistic, because otherwise you're just going to hit Tenpai. And with that
Yeah,
many
you'd want to draw
6-9s
the
out,
2 and the 3, probably.
Home.
Now you see the South called on the right. That is the double South. Also has a Dora.
a 2-5-8 pin weight.
Well,
There's
and
that
there's
eight.
the 8, and does realize it gets rid of the 4, takes the safer 8, which with a 2-7 pin having come out, feels significantly better. It is Nakazuchi.
Looks like we're not going to get the Itsu here after all, though there is a chance for Tanyo. Oh, but that 6-0 just came out again. 3 6-0s out, 2 9-0s out. Oh, sorry, 3 9-0 out. Not great. And now this Ricci across the way.
Across the way, yeah. Ricci Dora, 8 pin, 8 Mon. You have 3 people waiting for that 8 pin.
Looks like there's 1 8-pin left, 1 8-mon left.
Oh, and it's going to deal into the double roan.
Wow.
Switches, taking the 3-sided weight, and deals into 3,900 and 2,600. Still manages to hold on to first, but that's a very expensive play. Like the 3-sided weight, but ends up dealing into the worst case scenario.
Yeah, so even though Rachel loses her dealership there, now has a much better chance at taking first. Well, dealer's hand here could go into potential Sadanko, but he's currently 2 Shanten to take the fastest path forward, I think. Especially since over on the right we see that fast Yakuhai call, though the hand is still a bit in shambles. Needs to form a pair, and then the rest of the shapes are kind of not the greatest at the moment. Across the way, we have a nice fill of the 2-3-4. Looks like this is going to be a fast Ricci, is already 2 Shanten with a Dora to boot. And then over on the left, Rachel's hand looks like it has a couple of awkward shapes, but can easily call towards a Tanyao Dora 1 or make some improvements towards a Pinfu.
Taking the Chi there on that 8, so definitely working towards the Tanya here, Ishanten. Really want to connect to that 4-mon, that way you don't have to worry about shapes or Atazuke. I think if you call the Haku, you have to call the 7 pin, and that does come out. Remember, it's kind of just looking for those tiles. Could see a Khan on the right for Haru. Now it's 2 pairs here. Actually, Ishanten for 2 Dora.
And that's going to give Garrick 2 more Dora, making this kind of boring Tanya Dora 1 into a Mangan.
Well, I think you just Chi the 5 there and wait on the 3. As bad as it is, Tenpai is so valuable here.
Well, now
or, okay, you could do that and wait on the 2-5. That's even better.
Very good. Now this is
Tanya
a very,
Dora 4.
very, very impactful hand all of a sudden.
Nice little shape upgrade there for Haru. And there's the 2-so, and Rachel deals in. That's the last person who needed to have that happen. And Garrick now in a reasonably solid first place and actually has everyone else under 30K now. So this is the type of, if it ends this way, Garrick is almost certainly going up.
And Haru even with the last place here.
Yeah, Haru is not taking a big 4th, so still in pretty good position. It was really important winning that 3rd game and really mitigating some of the damage that have been taken along the way. That's a pretty good starting end here. Pinfu, Tanya, possible 3-4-5 Sanjuku, but a long way off. On the right, great shapes in So, course, you draw that 6-0, then you just go regular Pinfu hand, maybe Honetsu, but probably a bit away. Across the way, 3 pairs. Shapes aren't great. Maybe you need Peiko and Lower Mon. On the left, few pairs there as well. The question is, do you sell out for the Honetsu? You do have a West Dora there in the hand as well.
I think even as Haru, with the chance to promote, even with this 4th place, you should still keep pushing towards at least 2nd or 3rd, just for that extra security. And you're not going to get anything out of just giving up the hand at the start anyway. Just basically guaranteed losing points.
Now, there goes it and makes the call. Is now Ishunten headless.
All of the 9-so are gone, so even if you get the 4-so for the Sanmen-chan, you're not worried about drawing the wrong side of it.
Yeah, and normally I like these kind of calls, but I don't really like it here because the 3, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 just feels so good. But okay, you draw that, and now you're Tempai with a good weight for Tanya only on 2 5-mon. There are a bunch still on the wall, 4 left. And Rachel shifting towards Tanya, cutting the 1-so pair probably. And on the right, there is the Chun, and now that is an Ishunten. Prolix Chi, the 6, but the 9 is dead, so when you get a 7, 7, 8, 8 shape like that, you generally want the sides, but not when one of them's dead.
Dora Pawn. Gonna put Tristan in 2 Shanten. And now the Ricci from Rachel on the
Ricci Tanya waiting on the 7, so oh, there's Tempai on the right.
I think the shove here is just fine.
I don't think you have a choice, really. I see the pawn there on the left, so Ishunten there.
So 1 7-so left. 5-mon gets dodged.
Now you figure you're going to throw the Suji 1 first. Uh-oh. Either of these deals in, and great dodge.
As soon as Tempai is reached, though.
Oh, we might see a deal in here if the shape is taken, but that'd be a Furi-ten.
Yeah,
It's about how scared are you of this? Oh, it is! There it goes! Ricci Tanya would need the Aura, and Rachel get over 30K and into 2nd place with that Oradora. I think I like just cutting the 8-so there. We have to go back and check. Anyway, the winner here is Garrick with 22.9. Rachel gets over 30K and into 2nd with that, plus 5.9 in the Oradora on the end. Tristan with minus 5.1. And Haru taking a 4th, but still safely in a promotion spot at this point with the minus 23.7. And we have the standings up to date now on the right.
So I guess we can run back to the other table now and see if we can catch that game.
Hopefully I have more hour-long games. I'm going to bet at some point.
Oh, it's in East
Oh, and
too.
they're in East too. Oh, no.
So it looks like Khan was made on the left of the 6 pin, waiting on 5-8-so for Chun, Dora, potentially, if you get the 5-so. We have Tempai over on the right with the 2-3-4 pin Chi.
Waiting for that 7-so.
And that
you can just throw the 8 here. Yeah, and that's going to be the play. Oh, and there's, yeah, just going to be fold out there across the way.
Chi.
I think it's Chi for Tempai. Yeah, no reason not to as far as I'm concerned. Oh, no. Oh, no.
The tone is,
and you're wondering, yeah,
live.
that's such a scary tile here. And just gets rid of it. If it were 1 cut, I just push it, but I think it's live. Yeah, it's live here. I definitely understand the fold. It is the correct play. And then this cup, you see, yes, keeping that East was definitely the right play. Would have dealt into the 2 on there. So you feel very good about that. So what do you think about Daesungen?
Oh, I think it's a very nice hand, but it's going to be reliant on the last two Hatsu in the wall. We see Ash has, well, there we go. It's that
I
simple.
think we might see one, because I don't think Oliver's getting away from this. If there's one
Oh, we
person
have
at this table who would, it'd be Oliver.
Daisanga and Ishanten here. And there's the one Hatsu in Oliver's hand and the one Hatsu. Oh,
Well, we'll be Tempai now with Shosangen, Honitsu, South, and dealers like, I don't notice anything.
why should you?
Richinomi here,
Oh, and Ash is
not
going to take the
realizing the
Ishanten.
situation.
Oh,
Oh, there it
and
goes!
guaranteed Shosangen on both sides.
This is a monster hand. I don't think it's Sun Baimon, but it's close.
Yeah,
See,
nasty Paimon
yeah,
hit.
Tenhan, the old Tenhan Baimon, which is always disappointing when you see it, but it's a Baimon.
And Oliver's going to get stuck in another tough position now. Down to
Yeah, this is the kind of game
9,283.
Oliver just can't take. Not in danger, but not safe either. If you take what would this be, minus 35 last place if it ends like this, you're right in the middle. I think actually fall out of promotion at that point.
Oh, dealer's starting hand is looking like a Ricci Pin Fedora 1, maybe a 5-6-7 Sanchoku if you manage to draw the 6 or 5. So over on the right, we see the Yakuhai Chun pair, potential Pinzu Honitsu. Looks like that's going to be the case, unless that's 6-9 so close first. And then, yeah, the fast Conic Russellway is going to score Dustin's hand one more Dora with the 4-pin, so we get Tenpai in the 3-pin. And then over on the left, we have a more pedestrian hand, could go towards a Pinzu Itsu, or just a normal Ricci Pinfu looking for Ura.
Well, now you're Tempai, and we'll wait on that 3-pin. But there's only one left of the wall. Could come out here from Oliver at some point, though. But I think that's a play towards Honitsu. Sitting here at 9,200 looking for value.
Unfortunately, those tunes are Mochi Mochi. But with 2 Dora, you don't care that much about going for a Honitsu, even if you don't get the tune.
Now, the person that's going to capitalize on this is Dealer, who's now Ishanten for Ricci, Pinfu, Sanshoku, Dora.
Yeah, looking for that 6-0 draw. Only one of them out so far. Looks like there's 3 8-0s gone. So technically favored to draw the 6-0 first. What about the other side? Well, there's all the 4-mon gone, so you are guaranteed a 5-6-7 Sanchoku if you can get the 6-0. The Ricci's going to come in here.
Yeah. Figures the 9-so for the Apatsu turns fine, but if you... Oh, there's the Apatsu! It's going to be... Could be very expensive. Ricci, Apatsu, Dora, 2 Ura, and that's a Mongon, and Q will close the gap with first place, but still quite a bit back, moved to East 4.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that Q needed 2 games ago, but better late than never. Dora's the Hatsu. Dealer's going to start with a single of that. Has 4 blocks already, needs to form a pair or another shape somewhere. Wants to replace that penchant at some point also. There's also Dora over to the right in Dustin's hand. Has kind of some awkward Manzu shapes, but does have the Chun pair to pawn. Across the way, we have some nice connected shapes in Pinzu. Just completed at 3-4-5, is already in 2 Shunten. Also has a Dora, so it doesn't look like anyone's going to be capitalizing on that. And then over on the left, we have an Anko of the 4-mon, which blocks off that 1-2 on Penchon. Not any real value that I'm seeing yet.
Well, all these hands are kind of middling. I'd much prefer to have Q's hand here than anyone else at this table. Well, now that 4-mon finally connects, but you still have that 3-mon, the 3-pin pair you don't really want in this hand.
Oh, That definitely helps dealer's hand here. Forms the last block. Still wants to find something to replace that penchant, and this helps. Now you have two penchants, but if either of them fills, the other one becomes the pair. Bit of an extended shape here with the 6, 7, 7, 8 so, but decides to keep the Yishanten.
And yeah, Dustin just going for the probable one Han here. Could have kept the East and just dreamed of Honitsu, but figures that these shapes are terrible, and these shapes are in fact terrible.
On the opposite side, Q is headless Yishanten. But, yes, and also a sticky Yishanten kind of combined there. Draw anything around the 5-mon or the lower Sozu to get into Tempai.
And there's the Chun that had been waited for. I was a bit surprised the 5-mon wasn't called, but now you have this really awkward shape and just cuts the 4 out of it.
And I made a slight error there. It is not a headless Yishanten. Those 8 pins are the pair.
Oh, that hurts my head. That is, yeah. Well, it is a headless Yishanten. It's Tempai now.
Not
That
going to
would be
take the
just
Richi here.
just waiting on the 4.
Yeah, Richi Noni
Oh,
waiting.
and there's your 5. Bit of a backfire there.
Will you cut the 9 pin here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Ricci Tanyao is significantly better here. But we know all those 4-mons are completely dead and never coming out. I didn't see any reason for them to ever come out here.
Yeah, Sylvie going for the straightforward fold. Already has a lead with 48,000. Tempai over on the right. Dora Tonki. It's a Hellweight.
Genbutsu Tonki, no less. It could come out.
Kang.
Oh, Hadaka
Well,
Tonki. Double
okay.
Khan.
Khan! Well, now everyone knows what you're waiting on. Now there's no chance of it coming out from anyone but Q. And if I'm Q, I'm sweating profusely here.
Unfortunately, it's both the 3-pin and the 2-mon are gone, so we're not going to see any Sankansu attempts.
This is Tempai on the left. Would have to push the 7-mon.
That seems like a tall order, but the 6-mon Khan makes it a little bit easier. It's still
Just
very
jams
scary.
it.
That's a hand where I almost feel like I would rather just play it safe there, but I don't know if there was a lot of safety to begin with. Either way, it's going to be Tempai.
We get 3 players Tempai. Move to South round. Dealer here with Pinfu type shapes. Oh, I think we need a refresh. We're here with Pinfu shapes. Maybe some way to turn it into an Ipeco, but it's just kind of hard to use anything. I think you just play efficiency and see what happens. On the right, Pinfu type hand. You need to fill in a couple penchants in order to do anything with it. Across the way, definitely a Ricci Pinfu possible Tanyao type hand. Could also accept the door and get rid of that 2-pin. On the left, we have a Chun pair, so the rest of the shapes are actually pretty good. You may not immediately call the first one, but if you do, it's not going to be a bad play, and we'll see a decision, and it is, in fact, passed. Now up to 4 pairs as well, so you have to always think about Cheeto when you hit that 4-pair threshold.
7-pin is going to come out from the left, which is going to make Dustin's hand a lot harder to go for just a normal hand with. So yeah, I think that's just going to be a forced Cheetoy here. I keep forgetting, do we have Nagashi on?
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Sad, very sad.
Yeah,
but
there
I don't
was
think we'll have
one. There was one that actually happened. It didn't score, and there was incredible sadness at the time.
Well, Yishanten for dealer Cheetoy now. Looking for the 4-5-mon or the 7-so.
And a great hand across the way. Ricci Pinfu Tanyao Sanshoku. Dora. Still
So now-
Ishanten, though.
Yeah. Dustin does have this Ishanten, which up until now didn't make a huge difference because the Norths were dead and the 8-pin was once gone, but now can shift towards a Tanyao. See,
Now I've got
7 Mon is still
Ishanten on the right for Q.
Yeah, this is tricky because you have two very mediocre shapes. You have a Ryankon and you have kind of an extended Ryankon, and you have to weaken one of them somehow. Q decides to take the one that allows the pawn. And
Ends up dealing into the Tanya Sanchiku Dora as a result. And Sylvian open to just go ahead and get that 2,000 or 3,900. It's the expensive end. And move to South 2. Dealer here is Q. Possible June Shunt if you draw the 9-pin. And you're definitely thinking about it. We draw that 1. Also potential 1, 2, 3 Sanchoku. On the right, Pinfu type shapes, maybe an Itsu in Mon. Across the way, you have a floating Dora and okay shapes, I guess. You have 2 Penchon and a Kanchan to fill. Maybe you end up going Tanya with that. On the left, I think you're just cutting the West pair going Tanya. Maybe a 6 and 8 Sanchoku in there as well, but I just think Tanya, Dora, Sanchoku, Dora is going to be the best path forward.
And now as dealer, I think all dreams of Junshan are out the door because even if you get the 9-pin, you have that 2-pin pair, making things awkward. Oh, actually holds out for the potential Sanchoku ship, so now it's a possibility again, but if you're like high rolling for that, you maybe even cut the 3-so. I don't know.
And Dustin draws the absolute worst tile for that hand, pulling in the 9-pin, killing basically any path for value other than just Richie Dora.
Nice replacement for Oliver across the way, who draws that 7-so into the potential Ipeko. Needs that value.
We have an Ishanten on the right for Tanya Sanchoku Dora 2.
Oh, now
Just Dora
now.
2, Tanya Dora 2. You just take that. Waiting on the 4, but those 4s are unlikely to come out.
Especially with this
Yeah,
5-so draw.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. Now, if you draw another 5, maybe it could come out, but that's about it. Oh, and now you just shift to the Shampoo, and that's going to be the play. Since you don't have the Sanchoku anymore, there's not really an incentive to wait on the 4, unless you just think it's better in general.
Wests are going to be swapped here for the 8-so. Figures that the 8-so is not a nice tile to push this late in the hand. Kind of get a feeling that people are probably going to be waiting on areas near it, given the earlier 9-sos and lack of middle sozu in the pond. Dealer is Ishanten. But this overlapping, it's just
yeah,
like
the overlap need of the 7-pin isn't particularly great. An interesting decision cutting the 7-so. I actually kind of like waiting on 6-so here.
Yeah, Tsuji 6-so isn't that terrible. I guess just the greed for the Mangan is going to win out for Sylvie.
And there we see a call by Q for K10.
So if the draw order shifts 2 more times, then Q has the chance at a Itate Sumo. But other than that, no Yaku. And I guess you could...
You see a Tempai across the way. Now the 5 will deal into double road. The 8 would deal into single road. Wait.
Or
wait,
not?
What? It's passed? That's not Furi 10.
I don't know what I'm missing here. Is there a disconnect? No.
Nope. Had to have just been a misclick. Because that's 2,000. The Tempai payments are never going to be as good as that. I think that was just a misclick.
Maybe the thought is because this hand is so cheap, you want the dealer to repeat no matter what. So you'll take your no 10 payments and look for a larger hand. And then you still have
It does
South 2,
give you
South
an
3
extra
on the
hand.
dealer.
If your dealer turn had passed, I absolutely agree with it. As it is here, I can see it, but I still would have just taken it. Regardless, though, we're in South 2-1 now. Dealer has possible 2-3-4 or 3-4-5 Sanchoku with some shifting. Much more like on the 2-3-4 side. On the right, Pinfu, Tanya, well, maybe not even Pinfu unless you draw, say, 3-5 pin. But plenty of Tanya options. Across the way, we see a 8-pin call for 789. So looks like a Sanchoku, Dora, possible Hatsu, possible Chanta. And on the left, a few pairs going to be kind of hard to use everything. I'm trying to figure out what the play here is. Maybe hope for an Ipeco down the line. Maybe now you're at 4 pairs Chitoy. I would just cut the 4-6, and that's going to be the play. With 2 of those 5 so out, it's just such a terrible shape. And there's the Hatsupon. And okay, going for the Sanshoku here.
Oh, Hatsu
Of course,
Sanchoku,
if you draw the 1 pin, then obviously you just cut the 4s.
So then I guess the question here is, what makes this 39 so much more than the 2000 from before? And I'm not really sure. It's a difficult dilemma. But yeah, if Q gets into Tenpai and cons the 8
just draw the last 1 pin in the wall and go for the Mongon.
And yeah, that's what Oliver needs right now, for sure. But that 8 so is going to be real difficult to get. And the 7 Mon is not a tile that you expect people to just toss out so easily at this point in the hand. In fact, that's going to just...
The hand on the left's getting close to Suanko. Just 1 right now, but could be Chitoy, could be Sunanko. I believe that's Sunanko Ishunten right now. But I think if you draw it, you just sell out.
That was actually Tenpai for Silver there, but doesn't want to take the 4-7 pin Shampoo. The 4 pins are dead. Leaves you on the 7 pin Dora. Effectively, a
keeps
worse
your Itsu choice open. You really want Itsu with this hand if you can get it.
Oh, you think you settle? No.
I'd have taken that one. I'd have just taken that one, even with the 2 out. I think I just take the 3-pin Ricci.
Maybe considering the scores, I understand not wanting to take it now. New Dora is the 4, so that's going to give 1 over to the dealer. And now, this is what I was talking about earlier, Oliver is just going to be in the pits of despair after seeing that 8 so gone. I think it might have been worth still keeping the 7-9 and looking for the Ishunten with the opportunity to swap to like this, yeah.
Yeah, Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 2, Dora 3. And across the way, there is still a path towards Tenpai. We'll have to cut the 8, and we'll do so successfully. The 6 will be safe. If you can chi that 7 or the 3 so.
Well, there's 7, 6, 9 Mon out, so the chances of this hand winning are 100%.
There's the Sumo. Ricci, Sumo, Pinfu, Dora 3. 1 aura doesn't make a difference, but Sylvie is apparently an evil person now.
Yeah. 6, 6, 6.
And gets that. Yeah, now you're looking at a 789 Sanshogu with this hand. Of course, you need to draw an upper so. And higher than that, it just gives it up right now. I think I definitely got the north here and kept some options open. But anyway, on the right, Pinfu, Tanya, possibly Peiko in upper so as well. Across the way, Pinfu hand for sure, possibly Tanya, possibly Itsu and Mon. And on the left, Pinfu, Tanya hand there as well. And also a Dora, maybe a shift to 3-4-5 Sanshoku. Now definitely feels like 3-4-5 Sanshoku.
Oh, there's the 5, so great help to the dealer here. 2 Shanten. It's looking like it's probably just going to be a Ricci Pinfu, and you'd have to get the 8 Mon for that. There's one of them out. Another option, of course, is to draw the 5 Mon and get Ricci Pinfu Dora 1, potential 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku. Some nice development over to the right.
A nice 1-pin fill across the way, so you can definitely go for that Sanshoku now.
Man, seeing those 3 8-pins get tossed out so fast it's got to be disappointing as Sylvie. But after that last win, I think you're pretty fine with the dealership passing here.
Yeah, no, I think your goal at this point is just keep everyone else under 30K. Ooh, now that's an interesting tile. Because now you don't even necessarily need them. Although that's going to get shut down on the right by a pretty big hand developing. Ricci, Pinfu, Tanyo, Ipeco waiting on 5 and the 5 Mon Dora and the 8 Mon.
And if this had just been a draw of the 8 Mon, it would have been Ricci, Tanyao, Ipeco. So that 7 draw was critical here. But we're going to have a chase across the way, waiting on 4 7-pin, which I believe 1, 2, 3.
Just Ricci, Pinfu, Dora.
2 of those left, and now 3 of the 5 8 Mon left.
And Sylvie has no reason to push here, so we'll just fold out. Oh, and that's the expensive end. That's Hanemon Plus, Ricci, Sumo, Pinfu, Tanyao, Ipeco, Dora. No Aura, but there's your Hanemon, and now only 1,000 points back of third place. We move to all last, and the dealer turn here for Oliver.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered. This hand could use some work, but you get the 1 through 9 Itsu and Mon. And it's a little slow, but you're going to hold on to this as long as you can. You just need 1,000 to get over Dustin. So, of course, with the Gariyame and all of those other fun rules, you got to keep going because that buffer is just not enough. Over on the right, Ankh of the 4 Mon, a pair of the 1 Mon over there. You have a nice shape in So that can accept the 7 Sodora. You have an awkward Penchon in Pinzu, but very workable hand. Across the way, probably one of the fastest hands here, already in 2 Shanten for Ricci, Pinfu, Tanyao, maybe even a Sanshoku, certain ships, and Dora 7 So. And then over on the left, also looking probably for a Pinfu Dora 1.
Oliver now Ishunten for South, maybe 1 Dora.
6 Mon is going to be hard to come by. It's probably going to be the waiting shape over here. We see 3 of them in players' hands already.
Yeah, the 6 So is always going to be hard. I'd have pawned that 9 Mon, because I don't like any of these shapes. It gives a lot more choices for your head. You could even pair up the Dora, and that'd be your path to value.
Here's... No, not quite Tempai.
Yeah, you're still a distance away. And similarly, I think I cut the 4 So here and just sell out on using the Dora.
Yeah, that's a pretty good option, especially with the 3 early 9 So's. You're pretty confident you can get the 8 So, and the 6 So isn't too terrible seeming, even though we know it's gone. Plus the ability to pawn on the 2 Mon and the 9. Quite nice this late, even with one of the 9 Mon out already.
Dustin cuts from the 1-2 pin, seeing 2 of the 3s out at this point. Oh, okay. Well, that's why the 4 was kept, just in case you draw the 3, and now Tempai waiting on 8 So for South Dora 1.
And 8 So is indeed 3 left in the wall. Now, will anyone drop it? Well, over on the right, that 8 So gets accepted. Across the way, 8 So gets accepted. And even on the hand on the left, it could potentially use it, though...
Just Sumo.
Yep. Oh, 1,000
3,000 and out of last, and also important, pushes Dustin down to 4th place in this last game. And Dustin's also fighting for a promotion spot, but a 4th here and is probably done.
Now, Oliver still isn't out of the range where they can just sit back and relax. You need to be at least over 4,000 ahead.
Well, I think there may be another game. I can never keep track of this series particularly with how long it went.
Oh, yeah, I think there is another game after this. I'm just, in the case of no 10 payments, you want to be over 4,000 away from last place.
For sure.
But even then, you don't want to just sit there and be just at the brink of being out of no 10 payments. You want to be way further. You want to go over 30k if you can. You want to get far enough away that a Mangan Sumo won't sink you, though I think that would be very difficult here. But this hand actually shows some promise. We are 2 Shanten already. You could pair up the Dora and go into E Shanten with a potential Riichi Pinfudora 2.
I really don't like that play from Q. I kind of want to sell out on my options, not sell out, but keep my options for a Chinitsu here. I don't think the 8-pin does anything for this hand, and I don't think the Hatu does much for this hand.
Yeah, sitting at 25,200, imagining that you already have the Holmba, you're at 25.5, so you need at least 4,500 to get over the bar. So 3-Han hand is not going to be enough. Unless it's a concealed 3-Han run, and it isn't Pinfu.
Draw the Dora, so we probably end up in the same spot eventually.
6-0 is impossible to get, though.
Ooh, okay. Now you have some options. And just throws it back anyway. So even if you get the best draw connected to that 8-pin, if you throw it back, then there was no reason to keep it. Yeah, we have a Dama no Yaku, and you know how we feel about those. This would be Riichi Nomi. Looking for extra value here, but Riichi Sumo is enough to take out of 4th place. And this is just the 1-turn delay thing, hoping to draw Dora.
And it doesn't pay off this time.
Ooh, we have Tenpai across the way for Q. You have to chase this down.
Unfortunately, it is dead. Unless Sylvie decides to push 6-0 for some reason, which she has no reason to.
No incentive for Sylvie to push here. Get out of here and let the others fight amongst themselves. Ooh, Tenpai, this is going to be a chase. I absolutely would have reached this, but hoping the 3-so is drawn here by Sylvie and deals into the Sanshoku Pinfudora here.
Oh.
Uh-oh. I think you have to push it. I think you even have to push the 5.
Did you do 2-mon with 2 of the 3-so?
You could throw the 2-mon. Okay, we'll dodge it. Great play there by Oliver, dodging the big deal in.
Cheat breaking Patsu.
And Sylvie says, yeah, that's definitely an Ipatsu break. So let's look at what... Oh, there's the deal in anyway.
So the person you don't want to deal into...
Riichi and the Aura. And it's not going to be enough to get to 2nd place. But Sylvie, the big winner here, after taking a couple big hits in the first 2 games, with a plus 49.6, Q with a minus 5.8 in 2nd, Dustin with minus 14 in 3rd, and Oliver with a minus 29.8. And once the standing get updated, we'll see Oliver is right on the cut line in the last position. Dustin's losing some space, but not done yet. Getting into 3rd place was huge.
And we're going to go into this last game now. I don't know if they've started it yet.
According to this, they started 2 minutes ago, so we have 3 minutes yet.
Sounds good. Oh, at this point, sorry, buddy, but it seems like you're probably going to be out of the runnings queue. That being said, it'll be interesting to see how the game is played regardless. And obviously, Oliver and Dustin have high stakes here. Also, nice win picked up by Sylvie. That'll boost her back closer to the plus 75, if not a little higher than before. So if we're factoring her into it, she technically has a promotion spot currently.
It's just been a dogfight in A2 all season because everyone's looking for those promotion spots. And I believe that graphic is wrong on the right because that was set up at the beginning of the session. There are not 6 promotion spots. I believe there are 5, unless there's a withdrawal I'm not familiar with. The last spot was supposed to be the one that Simon was going to get in A1, but Simon, who is going on a hiatus next season, looks to be in a demotion spot now. So that would be a new A2 spot, not an A1 spot. So there would be 1 less promotion than that graphic is showing.
Let's see. Checking the official standings here. See if that's the case. Well, it looks like there's still 6 in the official standings as well, so I'm not sure what's up with that, but
It was just said at the beginning of the session and hasn't been updated because we don't necessarily know anything until everything is complete.
got it.
But I believe there are only 5 promotions as of right now.
Well, we should be underway in just under a minute and a half or so. Looks like
Yeah, we
Sylvia
knew
will
this
be
was going to be we knew this was going to be a fight between Oliver and Dustin primarily, and they're both right on that border. Both need a game here. Dustin really needs first, because especially if we realize that he's 5 slots. Philip has 2 games left. Ennui has 2 games left. Lucas has 2 games left, but looks reasonably safe. And you're going to have to jump all those people, because right now the position would be Ennui's. So regardless of what happened, you definitely want to put up as much as possible. If you can end up above Garrick, though, you're feeling safe.
looks like Sylvie's going to be following as the first dealer. Then we're going to have Q as south, Dustin as west, and Oliver as north. Any second now. All right, looks like we're starting off here with the Dora North. Dealer's hand, already 2 Shanten, looking for a Ricci Pinfu, pretty straightforward. Over to the right, we have a nice 6-pin draw on the first turn, also looking for a Ricci Pinfu. This hand is 3 Shanten, counting incorrectly. Across the way, you have the Ton pair, looking for the fast hand, nice 5-so draw to upgrade that Anchan. Decent enough shapes in an alternate pair so you can pawn right away. And then over to the left, a nice draw of these 7. So Anko will put this hand into 2 Shanten, though it looks like it's going to turn out cheap.
A lot of decent hands here, no great ones, although dealers getting towards that 3 or 4 5 Sanjku would definitely be the path to value. But you're going to end up most likely having to cut that 9-pin pair in order to make it. Also, decent shapes on the right, but similarly no value unless you get that 3 4 5 Sanchoku.
Sylvie pausing on this door right here. Hasn't been tossed yet, but now is the time to toss it if you can't use it. And indeed, it does come out.
And when you have
8
those
pin.
lone wind honors, this is about the time it's normally thrown, especially if you have a hand that's otherwise worth pushing. You don't want to get choked on it if someone surprise reaches on turn 7.
Absolutely. Across the way, critical 8-pin draw was made, putting that hand into Shanten, callable with the east. Over on the right, we've made progress to Shanten as well. Potential 3-4-5 Sanchoku if you can get the 5 so. And if you draw the 2-pin, I think you're going to drop the 9-mon that you have now, so that you have a guaranteed 2-3-4 or 3-4-5 Sanchoku chance.
I like this call, the 6-mon there from Oliver. When you have an overlap like that with shapes like this, just going for the 1000 is good enough.
And now you have this beautiful shape that you can call the 4-pin, 6-pin, 3-6-pin, or 4-7-pin into Tenpai, as well as the 5-pin. Or you can draw pairs around it, or the Manzu, or if you draw the 5-pin first, you drop the 7-so and get the good weight. So really good call there.
Sylvie does not believe in Sanchoku, and now we have Tenpai on the left as Oliver gets in and picks up the 1000.
All right on to East 2.
A few here with a Tanya type hand, 2 Dora, so this is very much call and go. On the right, Pinfu type hand, possible 1-2-3 Sanchoku. Across the way, Pinfu type hand there as well, but an overlap on the 4-pin. Well, now you can turn into a Peiko on either the 1 or 4-pin, and that's probably your best path to value here.
Nice draw for 2
Finally
here.
finally on the left, great shapes. And now you even have the East pair, so you can pawn and go, but the question is going to be what's your head then?
Yeah, sorry for cutting you off a little bit there. But yeah, Q has taken the shift towards Tanya here. It does actually have 4 pairs. Could opt for a Tanyao Chitoidora 2 as well. That would be a 9600 as dealer.
To go 4, 5, 6 Sanchoku, could own Dora. Lots of
Jeez.
has bigger value. But the first Tempai is across the way. This is Ricci or Ricci Tanyao Ipeko. It's a huge difference between on the value here.
Well, there's that one pin, but that's usable in Itsu. So one pair gets
The
dropped.
one cut each. But in the meantime, Q is, oh, never mind. There it goes. One pin. And the aura hurts a bit, though, especially since that's your direct competition. Oliver picks up the 2600 and move to East 3.
All right, dealer here is going to start with a very obvious Ipeko. Has a pair in the 9-mon, looking to make one more shape. So currently in 2 Shanten. Could pick up a potential 789 Sanchoku that takes some finagling. Over on the right, we have an Anko of the South, the Akuhai, and now this 33677 shape gives you a good 2 Shanten. That East will have to go, though. Across the way, we have a Dora Ryanmen. We also have a completed shape in 123 mon. The pair can also become a 789, pretty good. And then over to the left, 3 pairs, kind of mediocre average hand, not seeing a whole lot at the moment, but does have that lone Dora.
I was thinking Ipeko on the left, but now you draw that third 7 pin. You could even go Tanya, especially pair up Dora, work with that. Dealer, all sorts of options here. I definitely just cut the 8 pin. I don't believe in Sanchoku with this, and oh, I hate the 9 so cut, though.
Yeah, with 4 pairs, you should really be thinking about one, the Ipeko, because, you know, the connected 7789, and then also Chitoi. Now you're very sad because you would have been Ishanten. And these Manzu shapes, like at a glance, you're like, wow, lots of connected shapes, but they all kind of want the 7-mon.
Right.
So
I mean, you're here, and your Ipeko could have used the 8. Your Chitoi could have used the 8. And there's an overlap with that 7 mon. That's just going to be hard to use. In the meantime, a nice little perfect Ishanten on the right for Ricci South.
So now as dealer, you're like, ooh, 789 Sanshoku, but what's going to give? Well, the Dora in this case, but now you're going to get a Ricci only. Unless you pull in some alternate pair somewhere.
Could have even cheated there for the Tempai on the 1 mon.
Might have been tempted for that this late.
Yeah, I probably would have called it. I wouldn't have felt good about it, but I'd have called it, especially with Dealer having thrown the 3 so Dora so recently. But that just feels so close. I want to be done with this hand.
So Dustin,
And if
once
there is no
again,
Ricci, you can always cut the South.
Ishanten for Ipeko. Between the Con 7 pin and the 8-9 mon, I usually prefer the 8-9 mon Shabo, but as far as numbers go, they're both pretty equal here.
Pretty fun shape there on the left for Q. Would be potentially Ricci, Sun, Unko, Dora 3.
Oh yeah.
But I would have definitely cut the West there. Even if I have to throw Dora, it's like, so what? Well, I think you just con.
Yeah, I think we have to see the con in a second. Oh, that hurts, that 9 pin.
Yeah.
Each.
And now they're Ricci. Now
There's
maybe
our Ricci on the right.
it's a
Waiting
good thing
on.
I didn't.
Oh, see, and here's your 5. Yeah. I'd be fine with this temp. I'd even throw the door into it.
Each.
Oh, and I believe that's Senpai for dealer, and it is. Ricci, Pinfu, possibly Peiko, but I think the 6 is dead, and the 3 is also dead. On the right, the 5, 8, I think the 8 is, what, 3 out? 1, 2, 3, yeah, and the 5 is dead.
God,
So it's 0
yeah.
versus 1. Now, this is a very dangerous tile on that 6, because the 5 would have been pushed there.
Con.
Atsu's
Nothing.
twice
Oh,
cut.
con. Okay, there's the con.
Yeah, takes away.
Oh, that's scary. Takes away Oliver's last draw, but gives Dustin an extra draw. And we've seen some of those where you get those cons like, it's fine. And then the Haite dealer Baimon potentially there. But no harm, no foul. And we move to
Yeah.
each 3 with a decent sized pot here.
That one felt a little bit misguided, just because the chance of them getting New Dora and Uradora is much higher than their chance of, Aller getting a Haite Sumo. But regardless, doesn't get punished. We go into this hand with the dealer already having some decent shapes here. Could shift to a 1-2-3 or a 2-3-4 Sanchoku. Just kind of your classic Ricci hand. Over on the right, 6-7-8 Sanchoku stands out first. That's currently 2 Shanten. Across the way, Kokushi, I guess.
Ishunten for Kokushi already.
We're looking for the Chun or the Wonso. Currently, there's 2 Wonsos held and
Chi.
2 Chuns visible. And Tenpai.
Tenpai, we have Kokushi Tenpai, and it feels like it's going to come out for the dealer. Oh, that
Oh,
Forso may have bailed Dustin out.
4-pin.
4-pin. Even 5 mon isn't bad there either.
Yeah, 5 mon or 6 mon or 4-pin. Wonso disastrous.
Oh, Justin got bailed out. We still might see it come out from Q here. Oh, that is... Wait, why was that 5 not cheesed? That's... Oh, Sumo!
Okay.
Just Sumo. Kokushi Muso. Sylvie with the Yakuman. And this is great news for the people not in this game. Great for Ennui, great for Philip and Garrick, but terrible news for Dustin, who takes the bulk of the hit there on that Sumo. And even for Aller, that's a minus 8,000. And now first place is basically unachievable. So the question is, can you at least salvage yourself with a positive second here? And has not a great starting hand to be able to work with, but maybe an Itsu in Pen, especially you can get a Dora, but so many tiles that Penchons that need to get filled. You have the double Ryunkon in Mon, and a Penchon and Pin, just kind of a mess everywhere. On the right, the Haku pair, maybe just go Honitsu. Definitely with that 9-pin cut that seems to be the play. We'll have got Dora later, though. Across the way, and Ipeiko, that's actually Ishunten. For Ricci, Ipeiko, Dora 2, and on the left, the Chun, Pawn, and Ishunten just for the 1 Han.
Yeah, this is an interesting play dynamic with the substitute, because those points are effectively getting sucked off into the void somewhere. Whereas normally, it would be one person drops out of the top, one person goes into the top, with the result like that.
We have Tenpai on the left now, waiting on the 3, so that it's very loose for the dealer.
For Dustin, that would be just 1 Han.
I think it comes out right here. Oh, no, the 1 is thrown first.
I think the idea of keeping the potential Itsu alive, I like that, so probably would have come out first for me.
And Sanso deals in, but it's 1,000, and, well, it's something. It doesn't really help Dustin's predicament right now.
Well, dealer here, Wonso Dora, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Looking to build another one around the 7 mon. Drops Wonso on turn 2, as does Dustin. So you're just looking for a Ricci or to pass the deal along. Over on the right, we have the 5-5-6 mon looking for a potential Ipeiko. You have also 2-2-3-3, so could go for a Ryan Peiko. Would probably be the 2-3-4, so in that case. Now another pair, your Yishanten from Chitoi. Across the way,
Shiny.
and that is Ishanten, West 9-pin, 7-pin, and 4-pin, I think. That's
My
Tenpai.
goodness.
Oh,
It's not Tenpai, going for more.
the greed. But it's it definitely makes sense here.
When you need the points, so I don't hate this.
Yeah, if you were not playing for promotion, if you're playing just not to demote, then you would probably just take the Tenpai there. But over here, I'm wondering if there's any way to get this into Turin without passing a
You
win.
can see the attempt is being tried, but it doesn't look like it.
The 9 pin is
Let's
passed.
see if the 9
That would be
pin with the
Tenpai.
4. Yeah, you'd win on the 4. No.
Yeah, if you pawn the 9 pin and you drop the
Well, yeah, but you're not looking to pawn here for Churen.
5 or 1 pin. Yeah, well, yeah. But he could have taken the Damangan Tenpai thing.
Right.
You have your choice of 2 pin or 4 pin weights.
Could pawn for possibly Itsu here as well. I don't think that is Tenpai, though.
No, that one isn't.
Home.
Takes it anyway. Now the hand is actually a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay, never
okay,
mind.
that fixes it. Yep. Just cut what, the 9? Yeah.
Kind of a bold push into that after the overflow, but there. Oh no, I guess you aren't Tenpai over SQ. You don't even have the Dora either. I might have just done
Three-sided
the
weight, but
same.
they're all pretty much locked up. There's
Yeah,
1-5, 1-4, and 1-7.
a little variety pack there, one of each.
Tenpai on the right for just the Tanyao. Dealer going to be Tenpai, and that's actually a great result for Sylvie. You're perfectly fine to deal in for 1,000 there. Pass the dealer turn in South round and move to South 2. Dear here is Q, who has double hit 2 Ryonkon and a Kanchan here. Shape's just ugly all over. On the right, so what do you think of a Dustin Pin Chinitsu?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the 789 Mon got dropped out of that hand after what we saw
I would be
last
surprised if the 789 doesn't come out. two of these hands back to back. Across the way, Oliver calls the West. That is Dora, so that is the expensive hand. And needs the 5 Mon or 2 Mon if it can be pawned. Decent chance the 2 Mon comes out on the left, but now you have to fill it in with a potential Penchon for Sylvie, who has also a possibility of an Itsu, but probably is going to try and fold this out if nothing comes.
Color me surprised. There goes the
Each.
Pinzu Honitsu.
Oh, okay. Just hits the Ricci button. Looking for the Peiko. Wait,
Yep.
I think that's the Peiko. Yeah, that is. Hold on. No, it's not. It's just a 6-9. Now, this 3 is going to come out and deal in. Oh, yeah, that is just Ricci Pinfu.
A little sad, but if you looked at dealer's hand, all the rest of the pins are pretty much locked up, so it was a realistic outcome.
Could have being a direct hit, which was nice.
Yeah, could have kept the 1 pin for the potential Itsu, and that might have paid off, but no way to know.
But this is probably the last chance for Dustin, because even a positive second place in below 30,000 is not going to be enough to promote in all likelihood. So I think you push literally anything this time. You're not in any danger of demotion, but I'm just selling out at anything I can get. But this isn't a great hand to do it with. Pinfu maybe 1, 2, 3, or 3, 4, or 5 Sanshoku. Long way off on the right, though. That's a great hand. Ishanten already for Ricci, although you kind of want the double south if possible. Across the way, possible Honitsu in pin, and on the left, maybe Chitoi. There are 4 pairs and a single Dora, so that's the way I'd play it.
And then another thing to consider if your Oliver is the 8 pin draw, gets you set up for Mentanpin Sanshoku. If you can't manage to snag the south. I think you may
I think that 6-0 is a big mistake.
Yeah.
Well, I like Sanshoku. I'm just cutting the 7 pin here, hoping to call the south. the double south, or even
Yeah,
better, draw it myself. I feel if you're going to cut the 6, I almost just want to cut the south.
now you should cut the 7 pin. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the 7 pin.
Yeah, especially now. You'd have no reason not to. Just selling out on the Tanyao Sanshuku here. I say, if you're going to do that, just cut the south.
Yes, to our viewers in chat, please eat food, drink liquids. Do not let us make you dehydrated and malnourished.
Yeah, the salt is supposed to come from the game, not from dehydration. There is Tempai on the right, and yeah, there goes the south.
At the very least, there's some consistency in the actions here.
Yeah, so if that is the thought process, because Oliver's kind of in the same situation, needs to at minimum get over 30k here. If
I
at
mean,
all possible. We don't know that that's what's needed, but it definitely feels like that's what's needed here.
I'm just
Whereas-
wondering if Sylvie is going to have time to complete this hand across the way.
Well, Ishunta now for an absolute monster, but if I'm Dustin
Jeez.
especially, I just don't care.
There
Even
goes
here, the Ricci Dora, I absolutely take this.
There's Pen Sanso, 3 left on the wall. Quite good this late.
Yeah, kind of shocking that all 3 are still in the wall, but we will see if it is drawn.
Oh,
And I think you just pawn and go for the Tempai. We have a Toy Honitsu, Hatsu Sha Hanemon, but the sumo on Sanso, praise Sanso, Ricci, Sumo, Dora. No Aura, but that's enough to get this game very close all of a sudden. But again, that's not enough for Dustin. Dustin probably needs to get positive and probably needs to go on a run here.
dealer's hand starts off with the fast Hatsu, so that is an outlet to repeat here real fast. The door is the east. Doesn't look like anyone has that pair lit up. Over on the right, we have Oliver's hand with really disjointed shapes, unfortunately. Needs a lot of tender love and care. Across the way, we have a couple good Ryanman ships. We have the Rankan in the upper Pinzu, but a lot of disconnected honors in the Dora to deal with. Plus the 7-mon on the first turn gives up the 789 Sanchoku. I think maybe trying to bail with the hand, high priority, but don't know. We'll see. Over on the left, though, we also have the Chun pair. Q, at this point, though, not sure what Q's goals are, so not sure how that hand is going to pan out.
Yeah, I'll let you question for Q. I think you just play for second if you can get it. Although it'd be a bit unfortunate for the other 2 players if you just win with dumb 1,000-point hands. But there's the Hatsu pawn, and is now a very nice Ishunten for Dustin. Khan, absolutely.
Udora's the 9 pin, that's going to give 1 to Sylvie. The other 2 are already discarded.
And now upgrade to a Sun Menshon, but still looking for a head there for Dustin.
Ideally drawing the 6 or 7 pin.
That
No,
would
actually,
work
no.
then. So yeah,
Yeah.
not ideally, but I mean, if you took it, you'd be okay.
Yeah, so in that case, you want the 147. Sorry, you want the 23560.
2, 3, 5, 6 would be ideal. You could even cheat this and just have the Tonki in case you draw an East or a 9 pin.
Yeah,
See
I
that?
kind of like.
Yeah, that's definitely what I would have done. Well, you do have the 9 pin your own discards, so you're already worrying about free 10.
Oh, that hurts. 4 pin for a 4-so pawn here is going to put Oliver and Isha.
Okay, there you go. Tempai for dealer on 5-8. Another Dora draw there for Sylvie. The question is, what do you do now? You just cut the 3 pin? Yeah, that's going to be the play. And a Chi for Tempai on the left. Then is Tempai on the right on 5 pin.
So,
but Sumo for the dealer.
Yeah, there's a double run chance on that 5 pin as Sylvie filled with the 8 pin. Either way, Sylvie is going to deal in, no matter how that round con fills. So, ideal to
gets Dustin into second place, but as we said a bit ago, still a lot of work to do. And has a Tanyao type hand. I might just call this one for open Tanyao. Possible toy upgrades. On the right, especially that 3-so cut, that looks like a Honitsu in Mon type play. I might have just cut Chun, but getting greedy here. We'll see if this changes the 7-so Dora is drawn, though. Across the way, Pinfu type hand. Really want to fill in that 3-so, connect up Dora. And on the left, a Hatsu pair, possible Itsu and Pin. Honitsu seems a bit away, but even if it comes, you take it.
So Oliver does pick up that lone 2 mod. I think as soon as something binds to that, you're cutting the 6/8. So, and you are technically 2 Shanten from Menhon Chitoy as well.
Boom.
Yeah, there's the south. And okay. Oliver seems content to play for one. Oh, that's right. That is the double south. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, you take the Ishanten here, and then you hope you draw the 6 mon. And
Right.
swap
If
out
you
that
draw
6 mon.
6 mon or 9 mon or 8 mon, they're all good. Even 5 mon, I'd probably cut the 6, 8. So,
Yeah.
well, there's Dora, and I think it's
That's
going to come out.
awkward.
I think it gets Cheed. And yeah, now Tempai, where Haku is Mungon and Pei is just the 39. I don't think he gets to 52 unless it's sumoed.
Both Hakus and a Pei left in the wall.
Boom.
That Hatsu's getting it punned. Pinzu Honitsu
Gee.
2 away
You
here.
have to cheat this. Dealer now Tempai, waiting on 2 5-pin.
There's currently 3 of those left.
Oh, there's the
no.
Boom.
And I think that's the end of Dustin. Will still be in A2 next season, but any chance of make it to A1 probably ends here. Oliver, on the other hand, gets mission accomplished for that hand, but still not done yet. Absolutely want to be in the positives here to try and raise your score. If you can get above Garrick, you're probably safe, but that's going to be quite a bit of distance yet.
Yeah, this hand could do it, though. You're looking at a potential Manzu Itsu. You have the Yaku High for a fast cheap hand if needed. You have connections to the Dora 7-so, so not looking bad. Over on the right, Sylvie has the chocolate of Manzu, has control of pretty much all the 3 Mons, so that Itsu is going to be real hard to complete. Across the way, I mean, Q is just looking at a Haku at the moment, maybe a Dora. Much to write home about there, and then over on the left, actually a really good hand for Dustin, but still needs to elevate it a little bit more. So you're looking for the 678 Sanshoku Tanyao Pinfu Dora 1 or something like that.
Now,
Well, that's a
DRC
start.
here feels like it's the best, but just not much value. Although, if you do
Oh.
that and get Tempai, yeah, Dustin's resigned to taking fourth here. I guess Ricci, Sumo, Dora would be a tie, unless you hit Ura.
I think you also have to just worry about the other people below you getting above you too. So I feel if I'm in Dustin's shoes, I'm not going to settle here because I'm unlikely to demote.
That's a bit of a disaster there for Oliver. Ricci, Dora, no Ura. But that still leaves Dustin in fourth place. But the big winner is going to be Sylvie here, which is the plus 48. Oliver mitigating some of the damage, but still takes a minus 3.8. So not in a promotion spot currently. Will still have a chance depending on what the rest of the games are. In third place, we have Q with minus 16.4. Just never got anything this session. Honestly, all season was just kind of stuck. And Dustin in last place with minus 27.8. So as we look at the standings, Claire is in, although it still has 4 games left, so I guess not in. The only person that has officially punched a ticket for all practical purposes is Haru. Claire is probably in. Lucas still has a bunch of games. Dustin is out. We have Ennui, who has 2 more games, 2 positives there, and is probably in. Garrick is in a good position, but could certainly be jumped. Oliver is kind of on this cut line, really needs Tucker and Phillip to drop down below him and not have Huang catch up either. So going to need a lot of work there. Will be a very exciting stretch as we get toward the end of the season.
We also had quite a bit of movement down below. Rachel dropped into 17th place, which gives both Ada and myself a little more of a chance to escape here. Tristan, of course, with minus 79, has to watch out that no one overtakes him, but doesn't have any games left. And I believe my matchup with Andre, Claire, and Matthew could be quite influential for that. But it does look like Michael... Wait, which Michael am I playing? Am I playing Michael or Matthew? I have to check. But either way, interesting things happening all around in A2. I believe that just about wraps us up for tonight, though. Don't think we have any more scheduled games, and it is getting way too late to continue anyway.
Yeah, we're both on the East Coast, so it's after midnight here, so we're going to hang it up. Any closing thoughts?
None really. Looking forward to this exciting finale of the season. Also, the championship matches whenever we plan to do those, and also looking forward next season to playing with Jen Barr, who I believe has joined from JPML.
Yes, that was recently revealed in the Discord. Whole bunch of activity going on across the league. I believe there are going to be some stream games Sunday afternoon, and then we're going to try and get a bunch of B2 and B3 matches Monday and Tuesday evening. So this is when we do the obligatory plugs, Twitter. You see everything on the screen, AmericanReachy.org for the website, the tinyurl.com/RMLYT for the YouTube if you want to see the VODs of all these matches and the nice little repository we've been building over the last year. But this has been a nice day of Mahjong. Sorry we didn't get to cover as much of the other table as expected. We were not thinking there were going to be 2-hour-long games to start off the session here. But I know the players are exhausted. We're exhausted. So I'm going to wish you a good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thanks for watching.